second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I give the floor to you, and the stage is yours, please.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to talk to people who take care that I don't fall down with the plane where I fly very often. My name is Egla, as you heard, and my team, 10 people, is in Estonia, but I'm doing fully international gig. Our factories are in China. Our cooperation partners are all over the world. So I guys I need your service a lot. So any way I can contribute for your team to be happy, I'm always happy to do that. Let me share my screen with you. I was thinking to go through really honestly about what it really takes to do a quantum leap. Anything in life that we create, it takes us personally to be 2 steps ahead, and the results will follow, maybe even up to 10 steps ahead. Sometimes I feel like, because sometimes you put work into your project or dream that you want to make come true for years before something shows up. Like, who can relate? I totally can relate. And I was hoping to honestly be kind of like candid in front of you and show uh, when you embrace life and just surrender, sometimes to tough stuff, it's not a bad thing. It actually just gives an opportunity to accelerate much more faster than people who choose to be in their um, comfort zone. So let's do the slideshow. And I did slightly change the presentation name, which is still the same. So how to turn any frustration into an opportunity. So that actually comes through like a personal growth a lot. I don't know if you have ever thought about that, but through my own journey of being a corporate middle manager, top level manager, and then ended up in entrepreneurial fields, I actually want to look back. I'm 41 now, and I have about 20 plus years, 25 years under my belt of being in the front line. Then I actually believe that frustration is the most useful tool we have ever, because whenever you feel frustrated, either it's with your development at work or at home, things are not great, this is just the universe telling you that something better is waiting, and you need to listen, you need to follow, you have to open your intuition and see what comes up and take these lessons, learn the things that seem interesting to you, uh, yearn for like growth and the next level thing. And the best thing for us to show the way is the frustration, because we want to get out of the frustration. I wanted to show how it works through my own story, and through my own frustrations. So maybe that kind of um, guides you to not be afraid to take the challenges. I have had so many challenges in my life that I can really count on them on my fingers, but I'm actually originally from a really, really small village. Nothing really went on in this village. I was bored to death. I remember as a kid, I felt like abandoned. I was so jealous for kids who were growing up in a city because they had all sorts of things to do and stuff. But of course, I was loving nature and did lots of things. But eventually, it just kind of led me to understanding that, gosh, I really need to create something from within, because outside, nothing really happens. And I'm also a mom of 3 mini-me's, from one of whom had special needs. So anybody of you that has ADHD children, I feel you, I love you, I know how you feel. It's such a big struggle. I also am a recovered long-time depression patient, but I refuse to take medication. I seeked out help in like body therapy, talking therapy, all sorts of everything else besides numbing my senses down with medications. And before the success story, guys, any success story has a big, big iceberg under the water. I have started 4 companies before. They all have failed, or I have not chosen to take them any further. So, like any success you see in the world, this requires a lot of processes to come through frustrations. And these 4 companies definitely were my frustrations. Because, of course, you want to succeed in a first shot. Like, who wouldn't? And I also don't really have any privileged upbringing. I don't have any famous relatives or like lots of money in my family. So everything is self made. And from those challenges, actually, today where I'm standing at is that we managed to do the biggest exit. Exit means selling the company in Estonia, and we are developing products for Amazon customers all over the world. This business model is all over the world, very well known, but in Estonia we managed to do the biggest exit, and we are the only team that has managed to create 3 companies in a row, uh, to start up a portfolio of products and to sell them. So one of them is sold, 2 of them are currently 7-figure annual revenue, and we are growing them maybe to 3-4 million revenue with a team of 5 people to each company. So that actually for me sounds like a quantum leap, to go from a small village and depressed person to creating such things. But I just want to share a candid story of how like I have made this to happen, and maybe it just gives you some ideas and courage to move forward. Um, this is actually just my pendulum of going up and down. As a child, I really suffered under depression, so it wasn't so nice. I wanted to prove myself. I'm not going to go into details, but you see the middle line is kind of like well-being. If you go above that, that's like feeling great. But if you go below that, it's like, oh my God, my life sucks so bad. And it just sucked so many times out of burnout and, relationship issues and not having enough money. And then me as a woman, I kind of felt like I became a lot more masculine than I had to be originally. That's another challenge to come through. But those challenges just gave me so much insight of where I want to go. And the lower part is the frustration zone that gives you better direction of where you need to move. And that is absolutely true, that if you don't have any discomfort, you have no reason to evolve. So, thus, any problem is not actually a problem is an opportunity. And we all need to take these opportunities, and we need to fail. Failing is one of the biggest gifts, because that is the only thing that is going to guide you towards what your heart in this world really needs to do. So, a few examples from my own real life, from childhood to the current state. I really started from a place where school sucked for me. I had a childhood depression and I was very lonely. So, it wasn't really like a nurturing thing for me to go to school, even to university. But I kind of then figured that, okay, I want to be seen, I want to be successful, I want to feel proud of myself. Like I couldn't have those feelings when I was a kid. So you can see now kind of the spiral, the tension in the spiral, that in the school time I couldn't have all this, soft, warm, fuzzy feelings of having all tons of friends and being popular. That just didn't happen to me. So I kind of got the intention to be successful on my own in the corporate world. At the same time, I also understood that where I was suffering on stress and depression, in the 90s, in the Baltic states, like nobody was really able to get psychological help. Honestly, if you think back to your own childhood or to your teenage years, like going to counselor or like any kind of psychological thing, you were labeled as nuts. But I kind of felt like I don't want to take medication. So I actually asked my mom to take me to a psychologist. I don't even remember if it helped at all, but the internal intention to get help was kind of activated because I saw that I don't want to take pills, so there has to be another way. So I was thinking, yeah, let me get successful. So let me outwork everybody, and then let me see how I feel. Of course, that was completely out of balance, as you can imagine, but it made me a learner. It made me really a passionate information seeker of, what is this Pareto principle thing? Pareto is 20/80. What is this 20% of the thing that actually gives me 80% of results? And that just made me go through lots of books, lots of courses. I was reading till like 12 or 1 a.m. at night. And I remember my partner at the same time, he was going through like movies and 9gag and stuff like that. And I was like digging myself into this information just to see, where is this edge that I need to cross? Where is this knowledge? And then a frustration number two, why can't I be just everybody else? I kind of felt like outlier in a not most comfortable sense because still 20 years ago, 25 years ago, a woman was mainly still a housekeeper, especially after Soviet era. And I felt like this is not my calling, but like all my family and my friends, they kind of wanted me to go to the right direction. And I didn't want to really do that. I love my kids, but at the same time I wanted to be active outside as well. So I felt really not accepted. I didn't feel like I'm a normal person. And at the same time, all this learning I was doing, I actually became corporate overachiever who experienced a lot of burnouts because I was learning everything and then I wanted to implement everything. So I was applying to every single job raise I could. And from many of those, I could actually be employed. So I was kind of job hopping after every 15 months, which was amazing and exciting. At the same time, it was completely burning down my nervous system. So I was so burned out, honestly. But how to move? Like, what is the lesson from here? Yes, you want to achieve everything. You want to feel proud of, wow, I'm like the youngest one doing something. I'm the best in Estonia doing something, Anybody feeling that you want to have this sense of achievement? I've got you. I know how it feels. It's amazing. It's great. At the same time, yes, you're going to be super out of balance. And that's kind of the reality. A psychological like insight I got, like why I was seeking to be the best, was actually because a Soviet time parents didn't really pay attention to kids so much. So in my therapy sessions, I realized that I was seeking attention and approval from my dad. And that kind of sucked, when you saw that, oh my God, I'm doing all these things and I'm actually doing those for my dad to notice me. And my dad is already dead like 17 years and I'm still doing this. And that kind of cooled down my nervous system. And I was like, doing few therapy sessions where I was having conversation with my dad. And I said, listen, I'm valuable as I am. I don't have to run after your approval or for you to see me. I understand you're super busy, but I don't need this approval. I can kind of find success on my own term. And that was super healing. I strongly recommend anybody who's doing therapy currently, and therapy is amazing because it just frees you from so many layers of lies that been implemented to our system throughout the childhood, that working with mother and father issues is going to give you so many revelations. It's going to make you so free because so many things we do in life as grown-ups we actually do to compensate hurt we have felt as a child, but as a child we were just not able to act on behalf of our own goods. um, so then I also went through a phase where I learned that, okay, I can't be a classical housewife. I'm still going to spend time with my partner and my kids, but I teach my kids how to cook meals. I asked my partner, for me to be able to do all this learning, do all these trips. I was so passionate about it. And we kind of made peace with that. But I wasn't balanced at all as a person. And Another, like a third big frustration is that I was kind of like going nuts with trying everything, being so excited, being lit up so easily, taking all the opportunities that was coming my way. And, almost like discomfort became my comfort. I was unable to rest even because it seemed like, oh my God, nothing is happening. I constantly needed to be on the way. Um, and from this craziness, while working my 9 to 5, I started two side companies. I had three kids at this time already. And they also needed a home. So I had to kind of, work hard on my salary job. And it was such a pressure on my side businesses to perform, which didn't. So my nervous system was going really on the last edge. But at the same time, while working nine to five, taking this entrepreneurial journey next to being a corporate overachiever felt like a natural step. Felt like this is part of entrepreneurial experience anyway. I learned how to be super optimized. I learned how to learn in the same time where I'm kind of taking care of kids, while they sleep, I'm strolling them around the city with for the naps. I was listening to webinars and books where I'm walking or working out or commuting. I'm sure you guys do the same if you're interested in a topic. We never have 24 hours just for ourselves. There's so many demands, but it is possible to create 27 hours of day from 24 when you kind of optimize and put like two or three things together. I really became also a super penny pincher, and that means like I only shopped from second hands. I knew all the warehouse stores, I knew the furniture places. I was using uh, places like Facebook Marketplace that was not present at this time, but something like that. Just to have furniture in our house and have three kids having clothes on. So nothing was really bought from actual stores because all the money was going to testing, testing, testing. And of course, I did not feel balance in my life. Still frustrated, still learning, but surely the balance needs to be somewhere, right? So where is the balance? And then I kind of tag myself into the reality of achievement. And it doesn't look good, does it? I mean, if you want to really push your boundaries and do a quantum leap in your life, temporarily, I would say temporarily, you need to know that few segments, or like most actually, if we look from here, they need to be put on a pause. When you really want to have this amazing career change, you want to make, I don't know, 2 times more money, that takes actually a lot of value built up in your own system. You need to take yourself in a so much better level to be able to, I don't know, run your department or to be the manager or be the country manager or whatever you want to do, because money follows value, and value needs to be created by you. It's just nobody's going to implement this to your brain. So I kind of relaxed into this situation that I knew I'm never going to be, you know, losing these other segments that have the red cross on them. But I knew that if I want to do my quantum leap, in my businesses at the same time, because I was quitting then the 9 to 5 and just jumping into my businesses, then temporarily I need to focus on career. I need to focus on learning and growth. And definitely, please do not neglect health and fitness, because otherwise you are going to end up depressed, sad, and your hormones and body is going to be absolutely unbalanced, and everything else will follow. It will, you're still going to have it like 25% level, but it's not going to be in full. uh, so out of balance is actually balance when you are doing your quantum leap on whatever you want to do. For me, it was super motivational. I knew it's not going to last forever, but I was thinking, like, when I'm 89, what would I be overwhelmingly proud of? would I be proud of that I actually went out there and tested all these things and failed? Yes, failed. And this is something, when I'm on a bed, I can't move anymore, but I have all these grandchildren. And then I can actually talk to my grandchildren. Listen, I had this crazy situation with this, shipment from China to America, and they couldn't get it in, and I lost like, $25,000 and this and that, and how I solved it. Or I had this, crazy person that I really felt so much in love, and I was so afraid I'm gonna lose it, and then I took this leap of faith, and I took, courage to kind of go out there, and what happens, because this is something that your kids and grandkids, they need this knowledge. They don't really care if you tell them that, yeah, there is this new bread out there in the grocery store. Who cares about that? Or, yeah, my friend is, having this or that health issue. Who cares about that? Everybody in your close relationship circle and your kids, they're actually interested in real life experiences. So being a little bit like out of balance, in order to create these amazing experiences for myself to experience and later to share to my kids and my grandkids, was kind of something that I leaned on. And then actually being so-called classically out of balance suddenly seemed like a normal thing to do. Because if you want to have a life that is not being in a comfort zone and nothing happens and everything is the same, and eventually it's just, I don't know, 30 years of sameness compared to being out there, then it's absolutely no question. And then if you're doing your quantum leap in personal development and you're bringing this to the professional work life, none of us have enough resources. None of us have enough money to go and learn everything we want to. We don't have enough time to do this all. We don't have enough support. But creating this is absolutely your job. Nobody needs to give you this, the money, the time, the support, and the resources. So the recipe for your quantum leap, and this is the base, you can build on that, is that you need to know first, do you want to have a quantum leap life experience, or you want to continue with the sameness, basically forever? And if you want to have your quantum leap, would you be able to and willing to dedicate 6 to 12 months into diving deep into opening this amazing new level for yourself, whatever it is it relationship level, is it your fitness that you always wanted to be feeling amazing in your body, or you wanted to have this new promotion at work that just seems so out of reach but you would be so proud of. I would say finding time is your absolute test. You have to study or work out or whatever you need to do every free minute that you have. And the segments that had the red cross on, you're going to take the time from them. So you are going to listen and study and do all those things that's going to take you to the next achieving to your goal. Instead of Netflix, instead of YouTubing, instead of scrolling, instead of even going physically to the grocery store, you would just have a ready saved grocery store list. I'm pretty sure in Latvia, Lithuania, sorry, you also have the e-delivery. So just once a week, it just comes to you. You just press a button. It's about, 100 something euros if it's not too many of you. And you don't even have to go and spend 3-4 hours with the commuting and stuff. So all these things, and even ladies, I'm sorry to say, but honestly, for 6 months, you can handle with the clothes you have. You don't have to go and buy new clothes. I know you hate me for that, but going to the clothing stores is another 4 or 5 hours if you want to get fully new outfits and things. And I know this is not a popular idea, but if you need to take time from somewhere, honestly, you need to do it. Then a super small practical thing is if you have a washing machine, please get a dryer as well. You do not need to fold things on the rods outside your house or balcony or inside the bathroom. Just put them to the drying machine at the same time. Same thing goes with automatic floor cleaning. There is models out there that wash your floor. And I know folks that don't like cooking. There are services that somebody comes to your house and cooks full 7-day meals for you, and they can buy the groceries for you. And they will cook the meals in a sense that, the Friday ones will be in the deep freeze, and the first 3 days will be in the regular refrigerator. So many things in your life that actually take so much time can be outsourced. This will not last forever. You can start cooking and cleaning manually if you want to, but you just need to be able to see where your time is getting lost. And please don't overanalyze. If you're going for a quantum leap, just start. You don't need this perfect workout regime, or you don't need a private trainer. If you want to have this new hot job opportunity, you don't need to know exactly, all the things that are required. But when there is a job ad, or you have this developmental talk with your boss, you have a sense already. You don't even need to talk to your boss. You have a sense already that you know what's there out there, and you can always take them on the side and ask, if I feel like I want to contribute more to the company, what is the next step that you as a company need? Where do you see we are growing? Where do you see the openings coming up? Because I would be happy to offer myself, and I would be happy to contribute with my learnings meanwhile, while the positions are opening up. So you don't have to be perfect. You just need to start from somewhere, and starting, that means action. Getting out of head. You guys, like, this is so important. It's like when we just watch all the webinars and go to the conferences or read books, that is a base, but taking steps, if you don't take any steps, it's just really no use. And taking steps makes you more valuable, and the more valuable you are, the more you can price yourself, anything, anywhere you do. And honestly, this is something to enjoy. Bringing yourself to the next level is opening yourself to new exciting opportunities. And who wouldn't want to have new exciting opportunities? Like, if you imagine yourself 12 months from here and you have actually done your quantum leap, like, how would that feel like? Like, wouldn't be it is sweet? Wouldn't you be proud? Wouldn't, like, maybe this is something you've been dreaming about 10 years already, and it takes 6 to 12 months to make it happen. Like, I'm talking about bigger ones here. I'm sure you can do some quantum leaps even with 2 months. So this is all about action. So coming to the practicalities of everyday life, getting away of head, this is not good to be in your head. You need to lay out your plan. When I was starting my first Amazon company, this what I had in my computer, screensaver, desktop, backgrounds, and you can make it for free in canva.com. If you want one, I can mail it. I can mail my empty template for you, but it's super easy to do in canva.com as well for free. You need to know where you want to be in 12 months. You need to know what's the quarters need to make happen. You need to know what the next month is going to fulfill for you, and you need to know what the next week is going to bring. I also had my personal goals in here next to the work goals. I think a person is holistic. You shouldn't only be focused on just one field. You are a full person. So if you find this interesting and practical for you, please use the same thing in your desktop, whatever you want to achieve. And then, I was doing all this learning and development and stuff like that. I was super immersed, but I kind of felt like, my weight really started to gain and I had a brain fog. Naturally, honestly, we are craving sugar, flour, stimulants like coffee and alcohol. And when anybody tells you that trust your body, I wouldn't say our bodies are trustworthy if we are not aware of how our biological evolutionary system is working. We are made to seek out sugar. We are made to seek out high calorie foods. And I was just simply not aware of that. I ended up, being I was clinically obese, which was so uncomfortable as a woman. I was so ashamed of I wasn't used to be this way, but then eventually going after my goals and having all this quantum leap, and I was so excited, and my body was just growing bigger. So that was definitely a frustration, like to who it wouldn't be. And also for the mental clarity and energy and stamina, having sugar, high carbohydrate meals, having meat and potatoes together, which just brings you brain fog. Whenever, like, this is super easy to check in with yourself. Whenever you are feeling tired after your lunch, you are doing something wrong. Food is not supposed to take energy from you ever. Food is supposed to be digested so that you will get more clarity, more space to create in your head. I am nobody to tell you how you have to eat. I know that I've been in my lowest with brain fog, not being motivated, all the bakeries, all the chocolate, all the candies that happen to lay around in the suburbs and in the workplaces. I don't even know why employers they give their teams sugar. Sugar just brings you down. Like after even 30 minutes, you're going to feel more tired and sluggish. The only thing that you should be laying around in a workplace is fruits and vegetables, and maybe some, snacks that don't send you to a roller coaster of blood sugar. So if you want to have this superpower under your belt that you don't make yourself tired with food, I strongly suggest to read a few books or search YouTube about blood sugar, glucose, insulin. Whenever we have a lot of insulin in the body, that's a reaction for the sugar intake, and that's the moment where we store energy, and we also start to feel really, really sluggish. At the same time, food is like a religion and politics. You never want to have arguments with anybody about this. There are people who are doing keto, which means they're eating full fat meals. There are people who are doing vegan. Other people are doing, anything. Other people are saying, yeah, you can have anything you want if the portion is small. I am not saying none of this is wrong. You need to find your own truth, but please don't argue with anybody. There is so much information out there. All we know now is that wheat is really bad for our brain and our digestive system. It creates leaky gut syndrome, gluten to be more exact, and sugar is super bad because it just sends us to the sluggish mode, and we are super addicted to that. Another thing, I kind of realized that I am on my own way. What if I wouldn't be stopping my own progress? Yes, I was learning a lot, I was being more and more aware, and yet I was kind of like still feeling like I'm not, opening up as much as I could. And that was a lot to do with knowing what supplements I have to take. Living in Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, I'm sure, T vitamin, you guys know, I hope you take it. They even say throughout the summer we need to take it because there's just not enough sun where we live, and all sorts of other things. Iron, in my case, being a woman and having bleedings every month, it just takes all the possibilities for oxygen to be delivered all over the body because there's no iron. So taking a blood test and actually seeing what's going on in there, if you don't want to go for your general practitioner, and I know there is for a few €100 you can do this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have done it as well already, but just knowing what's going on in your system. Otherwise, like, yeah, I don't feel motivated, and I don't know why is that. And it could be very well that you just are deficient in one of the nutritional components that your body desperately needs. At the same time, I was working on my mental capacity to open up to new levels. As a startup, sending five-figure sums to my Chinese factories is super scary. What if they don't make the products? What if I'm going to lose it all? Just getting used to that this is normal part of the business. Doing the scary transactions. Just needs to be normalized in my brain that, yeah, everybody does it. The person that walks across me on the street, they do it too. Every day they press a button and they send like $30,000 to some way. So it kind of like a mental game with you, even if it's not true in real life, but you kind of need to normalize things that are scary. And of course, we kind of take the previous experience as a truth serum. I had failed with my 4 earlier companies, and seeing kind of success starting up on my Amazon business was scary because I had so much failure under my belt. And then if we are super scared of something, we are so going to manifest it in our life. We are going to procrastinate. We are not going to take the decision that the company needs. Luckily, I became aware of that. I was kind of like cutting the branch I was sitting on by being scared of being successful. I don't know how you relate to that, but if you think about all the potential that is hidden in you, do you feel it? For me, it is actually scary. Still, it is scary because there's so much hidden in us that maybe we don't even want to see, because that would change our lives so much. And for a substantial time, period of my life, I went to bed every evening imagining that, exceeding revenue of 40,000 per month. For you guys, I mean, you're moving serious money, millions and millions of dollars and euros for sure. 40,000 doesn't seem like much, but me coming from failed businesses and being such a penny pincher was absolutely not normal. You can totally tell yourself stories why you shouldn't order these new products, because that's going to make your revenue so big and that's not normal. So you're going to cut the branch again where you're sitting. So I was starting to put these little notes everywhere because I needed to dismantle the old limiting beliefs just to make space for the new reality that I was creating. And as at this time, I was already an entrepreneur, so I kind of knew also that my company only develops fast when I develop even faster. So, how to accelerate personal growth to be able to facilitate professional growth? Um, Seek out discomfort. And why to seek out discomfort is that when you do scary things and uncomfortable things, professional challenges actually don't feel so scary anymore. If you've been sitting in an ice hole or, giving presentations, this is actually, giving presentation is one of the scariest things a person can do. It is voted #1 scary thing in the world by psychological studies. So just to get over the fear of dying on the stage, I started an Amazon conference. Whoever is interested in Amazon, feel free to come and join us on 3rd of June. We're having another international one here in Tallinn. But I actually just started this conference to force myself on the stage and just to be able to kind of die and then see that, no, I'm not going to die. I actually have some valuable information to give, but because for this time I was already active in Amazon for 4 years, I had some experience and I wanted to bring people together. And I had this conference only to push myself to this comfort zone of, being seen, being heard, because originally I'm pretty introverted person. I'm not going out with my energy so much. So that just needed to happen. And I also started to spread the knowledge and be accountable for free. I started to teach for free. I started to take coaching. I don't really know how many of you guys take coaching, but coaching is amazing way for you to open up your growth. And if you have a partner who just stands by your side for 6 or 12 months, don't do it shorter time. 6 to 12 months is the minimum you should do. You will open next levels in your life wherever you feel contracted. Is it like relationships, love, children, work, your physical, or opening up like any other reels in your life? A coach will get you there accelerated. And then I also came across of a quote that, if you admire somebody, just go to them and ask them to coach you. But that's not the reality. Lots of successful people are super super busy. They don't really have time to give you advice, but it doesn't mean they're not available. Online courses, books, in-person events. um, I consider those that these people are my friends, and they're talking to me through the book, to the course. But and then I even like forget that there's thousands of other people. I just take this. Yeah, he's my friend. He's telling me all this. Like, why should I? And then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this seriously because this guy or a girl or a woman is talking to me personally. There is no other people there. And then you kind of get the feeling that, yeah, I have the world best names coaching me personally, where I approach those people with this sense. And nevertheless, what I want to end up my personal journey in discomfort is that honestly, we only truly feel fulfilled if we grow. And we will never get rid of frustration or problems. Please don't think that this will never happen. It's a different choice that we have to make. Can we surrender to the growth journey that never ends? Whenever you feel yourself being in a very, very comfortable zone, you know that actually you're standing still. And in a time, you're going to feel unfulfilled because new things are not happening in your life. So, in this sense, imbalance is the balance. And I'm not really sure if we have to seek the balance. Yes, we have to seek the happiness, but if we are unbalanced all our life and we are going from one sector to another sector in this imbalance, I think it is such a beautiful game of life and we can create so much. So we don't have to be stuck in balance. Balance is just rigidness, it's just being in a non growth phase. So it will really get fun from here because you get to grow so much faster than any other average person. So I'm so happy to take some questions. I left 15 minutes for that as well. I loved talking to you. I loved having you. If you have any questions, I'm really happy to do that.
Great, Egle. Thank you very much. So, everybody who has any questions or thoughts, feel free to use our chat box, and Egle will answer it. And also, I have my own questions because
Sure.
it is interesting for me to
Mhm.
know. At which moment you understand that frustration is the way for development and the motivation to try one more time? Because a lot of people will give up when
Mhm.
they catch a frustration. Maybe some situation, some
Yeah.
specific moment happened in your life.
Mm. That is such a good question. I think all of us are experiencing this forever. Whenever we feel frustrated or like stuck, or we're not comfortable, or we're not happy, we actually do have just two choices. And that's our everyday life. We have a choice either to numb our nervous system down with television, sex, alcohol, friends, having lots of children, shopping, eating, medications. We're just going, the frustration is there and we're just pushing it down. We don't look what's there, what's beneath there. Another choice, and this is like everyday thing actually, because like every day there is something that kind of bugs you or something, if not every day, then every week or every month. And then the other thing is like, okay, there is something that life wants me to grow in, and I need to listen and see like what is required for me not to be frustrated with my body weight, with my children yelling, with them getting bad grades, with me getting too little money at work. What is required so this frustration can go away? And that's the frustration that is creating our exciting lives. So I can't say like one specific moment. It's more like, can we be open and available to see this growth opportunity, basically 365 days a year?
Mm, okay. Um, Question from Ekaterina. Egle, can you suggest some book or books which impressed you recently?
Yes, I was, I was checking on what Oprah likes because Oprah has basically read any self-development book in the planet because she's doing so many shows. And I got super inspired of her favorite book after the Bible. She's American, Americans do a lot of religion, so that's why the Bible is number one. Number two is Gary Zukov, Seat of the Soul. And the chapters that talk about trust and the soul, they're so beautiful. Um, I can kind of say that the chapter that spoke to me most is that what you are here in this planet is just one piece of your big soul up there. There is like this big chunk of energy that you belong to, and you are sent to this planet to help your big soul to solve a specific issue. But when you come to the planet, you don't know what the issue is. Where is this bug that needs to be fixed? And you also don't know what tools you have. The funny thing is that you have all the tools if you're willing to be open and listen to intuition and, calm down and just kind of see, okay, where I'm being pulled to. And you will only feel absolutely fulfilled in your life when you listen to the big soul telling to your incarnation in this planet which way to go. And coming back to the frustration is a language that our soul speaks to us, that we need to take another kind of set of solutions here. What is required for this frustration to go away, and what steps are lying behind that? So Gary Zukov's Seat of the Soul was like soul growing journey for sure for me.
Okay. By the way, how much time per day or per week are you spending for your self-development, reading books, listening podcasts, and so on? Your experience in it?
Oh yeah, I'm using at least 1 or 2 hours a day. I am also doing, I don't know if you guys have ever heard about embodiment practices. This means like if we are feeling something, we don't push them down. There are like, the ways how to move these emotions through the body. So I'm doing this at least 30 minutes a day. It's called feminine embodiment practice. And that's because throughout these businesses and being such an overachiever in the corporate life and all these burnouts, I became such a man. I had guns in my hand, and I was just going and doing and achieving all these things, and I just lost a woman in me. So I'm getting back to the being a woman. That's why I'm doing the feminine embodiment practices as well. But definitely 1 2 hours a day. I just dedicate it for myself.
Mm-hmm. And also, you said that for personal growth, necessary to do something which makes you afraid. From my experience, I was very afraid about acting in videos and filming videos.
Oh,
So in one moment, I started to acting in YouTube videos on
mm,
my previous work. Can you give some examples maybe of such actions in your life of such situation? What do you perform?
I can do like creating this international conference was one thing. I knew I'm going to super scared. Another thing is the YouTube. I also have a YouTube channel. If you guys are interested in Amazon, there's content in English and in Estonian there. I was so afraid to put the camera on and then, filming myself. But I was thinking, okay, I need to do imperfect videos. Just do them imperfect. Your hair is messed up. Your, background has like children's toys. Your sound is not good. Your light is not good. Make 100 imperfect videos. That is my first job. Lose what you need to say, kind of like find your papers, be a little bit nervous. That is my job. My first job is to feel, and that kind of took the pressure off from being doing videos and stuff. So if you go out there and your goal is to fail first 100 times, trust me, you're not gonna fail first 100 times. You're gonna fail a few times, and then you're gonna start succeeding because you're gonna feel, why children are better than grown-ups in computer games is that they just do it more. So whatever you are afraid of, just start doing it, and the scary part of it will go away because that just comes a normal part of your day. So I'm sure you experienced the same thing when you started to do your YouTube things. When the more you do it, the less scary it is. You can even put it on 3 a.m. That's not so scary anymore. I love to do lives right now. I am really enjoying being in front of you, even though I am really closed and introverted person because I've just done it for many years now.
Yeah, you're completely right that to become success, you need to fail sometimes. But interesting thing, my first video on YouTube, I like it much more than some another videos. I don't know why. My first video was my lovely video.
Ooh, that sounds really good. And you are showing also that when you start out, you can be a successful right from the first thing. But if you don't put yourself the pressure that I have to be amazing and it has to be million views in the first second, don't put any pressure on yourself. What is really interesting to know and useful, and that's the only thing that gets you actually somewhere, how good is your practice? It's not how good you are in your head and dreaming, but how good is your daily practice on what you want to achieve? Are you doing practically anything, or you're not doing practically anything? That is the only indicator if you're ever gonna get somewhere. So you started, and now you have a channel. You had a channel. I don't know if you still have it.
It is not my channel. It is channel from my previous work, Ukraine International Airlines. We had some
Oh.
topics on aviation for dummies, how
Mhm.
to distinguish Boeing 737 and Embraer 190, and so on aircrafts. But I received a lot of positive feedbacks from my friends and from colleagues. It was very nice.
I'm so happy you took this leap of trust to do it. Hey, Christina, it was so good to see you on the video for a second.
So seems we have no questions. We have one question. Uh, can you recommend any apps or technical solutions which you are using for tracking goals, helping being more productive?
I'm in a situation in my life right now where I have hired a CEO for my company to track like work progresses. But let me see. Yeah, let me just get my phone. I'm gonna show you if I can find it. So what I'm tracking right now is that I know that the two international companies I have right now are going to be sold in next 2 years. These are not a pension fund companies. These are made to exit. So I need to create something new. I don't know what there's going to be in 2 years' time, and I know I need to bring myself again to a new level. So I am using an app called Habits. Oh my God. Yes, you can't really see much. It's like, but you can see this is a personal development stuff. Am I doing like, am I future envisioning? Am I energetically lifting myself to my future while still being an owner of two companies which are being sold? I need to energetically create this. What is the next step? And there's so many things that I have to like. Am I future journaling? Am I taking care of my body? Am I, what is here? Am I breathing deeply to be able to be open and relaxed into whatever wants to unfold? So I am tracking my stuff with this, and the app is called Habits. So this is the personal development thing, and you can have anything you want to have in here, just to bring yourself to a next level.
Okay, thank you very much for answer. And seems it is all questions in our chat. Yeah. So Egle, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing your experience. It was very excited.
Yeah.
And now our magnetic forums is going to the end, and I can make a small announce that next 19th session will happen on 18th of May at 10 in the morning. We will have another great speaker to share his knowledge. So, wish you wonderful day, and thank you very much for one more time, and
Thank, thank you.
have a nice day, and
Thank you,
bye bye
Eva.
bye.
Yes, and whenever you feel like you want to ask more questions or want to relate or something, find me from Instagram, Eklaradik. I'm there. It's easy to communicate. So supporting you from Estonia here, whatever you want to open as your quantum leap in your life. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.